Hi folks, I've not had time to put together much of a polished response on the matter. It's been such a shock what's happened, and I've only been told about maybe 10 minutes ago, and I can imagine the absolute pain and horror everyone's going through in Berlin when an Islamist terrorist attack happened during their Pride Festival. Pride mainly is an amazing celebration situation, right? However, an Islamist terrorist wanted to lash out in one of the worst, disgusting ways possible and totally unjustified. We get the idea Muslims don't like, all matters LGBT, but, there's that phrase out there, if you don't like it, stay out of it, right? But some people didn't get a memo quick enough, I suppose, right? But ultimately, fear, terror, life-changing injury has happened just because of some guy in a stupid religious book wanting to lash out and potentially cause death just because LGBT matters don't align with his religion. Religion's just a book at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what religion you choose, it's just a fucking book. If you don't like all things LGBT, you don't go to Pride. It's a bit like these people, these fuckwits on Facebook that go, oh, I'm offended by Christmas, right? Yeah, they like their annual leave off for Christmas. It's absolutely atrocious. And I could go on for more than hours in a day talking about my disgust of what's happened, but I'm just going to keep it quick and succinct. And I think a good going forward motion, right? Anyone that hasn't been to a Pride March, whatever city you're in, it doesn't matter what city you're in actually, just type into Google Pride March nearby me, get the date, phone your friends, maybe get your friends to phone a whole plethora of friends, and you turn up to Pride in a posse. The more the better, yeah? And I've seen in recent terms people referring to Pride marches as Pride as a protest. The more the better in every regard, and I welcome it. Stand out, stand beside, and be proud. It would possibly irk these death fetishing nutters that call themselves extremists that more stands out in favour of love rather than death by phony baloney book. So my going forward message for anyone, right, it doesn't matter where you're at, right, gather your friends together, go to the nearest Pride and be proud, stand in big number, stand on the side of love, and do it all defiantly against this weird death cult. It's just horrible that people can't express themselves without being either blown up, shot, or whatever else. But I think if we hold on to this call to action. You know, as in gather your mates together, go down to a Pride March and stand on the side of love. That would be a nice shift of change, or a change of shift, actually, to say we are standing on the side of love, and we stand against death, we stand against terror, and we will be standing and living. Don't know about yous, but this is where we are. We're all on the side of love. Yous can play with death, hate, cult, whatever in your own side of the world, but we're all standing, and we are more than yous. That's my quotation to say it's a sad day in the world where you can't be an individual without being harmed mentally, physically, or near deathly. That shit should stop. And as I say, you know, there are still some Pride marches going on up to about September area in the United Kingdom. Get going to them, go with your friends, stand in the side of love, stand in the majority. And that, I tell you, that really irks any dark, nasty entity. Right? That really irks any negative entity when they see themselves as few, and the people that stand for love, care, and general things positive being the more quantity. They really hate it that way. But if that's something that irks these negative groups of people, seeing more people on the side of love than with one, straight and simple. It really is that way. And I say, words defy me about what happened in Berlin, and I'm not going to go rehashing over words that I've already said. But the only thing I can do at this end of the juncture is to say, just make sure you know you're all loved, right? And if you're going out somewhere big, just leave a phone number for maybe your flatmate or your mum or your brother or your cousin or whoever you're sharing time with, right? Just leave a wee means of contact, and also know your area, so if anything did go wrong, you knew where to go to. Even the crows saying that. But yeah, just make sure you know you're loved. I love yous. There's not very much that you can do about it. And just make sure you stand in the majority position, in the position of love. And I know the word position can mean something else, but like, you know, come on, just, I suppose if that gives you a wee giggle, you know. It's rough, isn't it? Certainly not easy these days. But just make sure you know you are loved, and love will win. And the sad minority will eventually disappear. But just make sure you show your individuality. Doesn't matter if that's in terms of sexuality, religion, or fashion, or the way you just run your life. Make sure you know you're seen. Anyway folks, I'm going to head off. And until the next time.